Bienvenue chez Basilic, le podcast pour changer de regard et imaginer ensemble un futur désirable. Je suis Jeane, je vous souhaite la bienvenue et j'espère que vous vous sentirez bien chez Basilic. In today's episode, we explore regenerative agriculture with Mercedes Groba, head of regenerative agriculture at EIT Food. Together, we move beyond the buzzword to understand what regenerative agriculture really means, why it matters for soils, biodiversity, and climate resilience, and how it can be scaled across Europe in a way that works for farmers as well. This conversation with Mercedes Groba looks at what it truly takes to transform our food systems in Europe. I hope you'll enjoy the episode. Hello, Mercedes. I'm really pleased to have you here for a new episode of Basilic. To start, could you just please tell us a bit more about yourself, who you are, and what you are working on?
Thank you, Jeane, for the invitation and for having me here today in your podcast. My name is Mercedes Groba. I'm Spanish living in UK, and now I am the head of regenerative agriculture at EIT Food. And for those who doesn't know EIT Food is an independent body of the European Union, and we are working with the aim to transform the food system around the world. So one of our thematic areas is agriculture.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what we're going to talk about today, which is really important. We're going to start straight with some vocabulary because regenerative agriculture has become a buzzword in recent years, but I'm not sure everyone knows the definition of this word. So from your perspective at EIT Food, what is the most accurate and actionable definition, and what distinguishes it from like sustainable agriculture, for example?
Indeed, and you are right. So there is not like a standard definition of regenerative agriculture, and you can see several definitions. All of them, they are really aligned. No? There is no like a one very different to another. But at EIT Food, we see regenerative agriculture as a practical and results-driving approach to farming, and that not only protects but also improves. And when we talk about improves, we say about soil health, biodiversity, and water resources and climate resilience. So all these together are also supporting the farmers and the economy and livelihoods. So the difference with regenerative agriculture and sustainable agriculture is that sustainability and sustainable agriculture often focus on maintaining the status quo, making sure that we don't do further harm, for example, to the environment. However, regenerative agriculture goes a step further and is about restoring, improving the land and the ecosystem. And we rely on this creative positive impact over the time. So it's about more improving and restoring rather than just avoid the harm.
Okay, so the idea is a bit more like focusing on the effect and how it's going to transform, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So EIT Food is working to scale regenerative practice across Europe and even across the world, from what you said earlier. In your view, what are the most transformative outcomes regenerative agriculture can deliver, like for soil, biodiversity, climate resilience, or even like food system? Because there's so many impacts, and could you like guide us through it?
Yes, so it's a very good question, and indeed, regenerative agriculture can really change the way we grow food in Europe and around the world. And why? Is because it's exactly what I explained in my in my answer before. Is because it helps to restore soils, making them healthier, more fertile. So also support the biodiversity from the soil microbiomes to the wildlife. So creating really a richer ecosystem that we really need in this, let's say, puzzle of systems. It also strengthens farms to against to the different climate change that we are suffering. Currently suffering, so extreme weathers that can really affect the crops, and also helps to reduce the emissions and to store more carbon. So in a nutshell, so regenerative agriculture can really change the way that we grow food in this world.
Do you think regenerative agriculture is well known enough, or it's still like an idea, maybe a concept that we need to explain and we need to raise awareness?
Indeed, I think this is one of the biggest challenges that we have with regenerative agriculture, because the benefits are clear, but not everyone is aware of them. And that
Mm.
is probably part of the reason that there is still a low adoption. Uh, it's quite slow, the adoption from the farmers, because to see the benefits, you need to have like a impact report and be able to tell the stories of the farmers that they have been applying these regenerative practices, and what are the benefits from these practices. So this normally is about a lack of or limited knowledge and skill gaps in these farmers for this to transition the regenerative practices. Also can be also, for example, economic uncertainties. So the fact that there will be involved upfront costs, also even some temporary drops in the yield. So this all together will make that the farmers adopt these new practices a little bit slow than the others. So it's still very slow adoption in these regards.
Hmm. So you think that we need maybe like new financial mechanism or like incentives or new business model to help the farmers transitioning to this kind of agriculture?
Definitely, yes. So we need to support these farmers in these upfront investments and all the short-term risks. So we need to have like a financial support, incentivize, or another kind of innovation business models. So payments based on the results, on the practice, and then also we need the governments and the policymakers bring this topic in their agendas. We need the
Hmm.
support, the public support, the financial support from the governments in this area. And this is exactly what we do at EIT Food, because we bring this support to the farmers in this transition to the regenerative agriculture practices with the private funding from corporates too.
With which country did you work the most? And can you see some improvements like through political governance and decision in some countries or like in Europe in general?
Well, it is it is true that now is the moment that regenerative agriculture is starting to be part of the dialogue from any
Mm.
countries and governments. So we are working now. Our main is to work across the Europe, so in different regions and where agriculture needs are like at the priority. Um, we are now working in the different programs in Spain and in Poland, and this is the one that we are currently implementing. But we are also designing different projects in Ireland, France, also in Serbia, in Denmark, in Finland. So we are covering different regions to really have the diversification in programs, different crops, different agriculture needs, different climate conditions, and everything together to really demonstrate and show that regenerative agriculture really provide benefits uh, for the agriculture and for the farmers. It doesn't matter where your farm is located.
Yeah, it can be anywhere.
Exactly, it's just to adapt the program and the condition to the local conditions of the farmers, so to the crops, to the climate conditions, and everything there. So it's a matter of to really adapt the program to the regional conditions.
Yeah, so this is like we need time to for everyone to adapt to this new condition and new system, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And your program at EIT Food sits within EIT Food's innovation ecosystem, which is another part of the program. Which technologies do you see are truly enabling like the generative transition? what kind of technologies are you working on?
Well, we are working. I mean, just to give you an example, we have one program which is EIT Food Test Farms, and in that through that project, we are really selecting the emerging startups with emerging technologies that they can test and demonstrate the technologies directly on the farms. So we help them to match farms with startups, and they can work together in the new technologies. There are different range of new technologies that are emerging, for example, for the soil health monitoring tools, digital farm management platform, also agri-tech solutions with like precision planting, cover crop automation. So, but it's not just about the technology, it's about the framework that we are also bringing here, the standardization that we need to have, for example, from the data collection, because this practices is not just about the technology, it's about the entire system altogether to really do these practices in a very standardized, a clear way.
Yeah. Okay, I see. And like through your position and point of view, of course, because you are working with with everyone on this project, like you can work with the farmers as well as the politics and everyone in this project. When I was like working for this interview and like reading all of the website, I really feel like regenerative agriculture requires mindset change, experimentation, but also like long-term thinking. It's not something that you're gonna switch to and then see the results in like few months, because of course it's a really long process. What have you learned from working directly with farmers about what really, really motivates or discourage them in this transition, you see?
Yes, so indeed, mindset shift is really, really important here. For that to happen, farmers need to see really a clear, tangible benefits. They need to see that if they are going to change the practices that they have been doing in the past to a new practice, what is the reason to do that, the benefits to do that, and who is going to really support them in this transition, because there will be some risks and some, as I mentioned, some upfront cost. So they need to really see, on one hand, hands, but also to have and to receive some supports. And also they need to see that they are really connecting with all. So one way will be, for example, connecting with other farmers that they are already doing these practices, that they can learn each other, they can share each other. So it is important to really make create a community of farmers that they can really be talking each other and really sharing each other with this, to really have this mindset shift. They cannot be we cannot leave them alone and say, oh, well, you need to change your practices. You need to be with them and provide
Of course.
every type of support that we can.
Yeah, and I guess it's gonna be like step by step. How does it work? Like if a farmer wants to change for like regenerative agriculture, is gonna start slowly on one parcel, or do we need to transform the whole farm?
Well, this is depends of the farm and how risky they are and how they want to
Mm.
start. Um, but definitely, as part of our landscapes or our programs, when we engage with farmers, we give the possibility like to provide the entire farm. Hectares, all the hectares that they have, into regenerative agriculture, or just provide a percentage of the hectares and to try in that, let's say, that corner. So it's up to them, but we provide every kind of support, like a training advisor, but also agronomist advisors to explain what are the practices that they need to include in for their crops, how they need to do the practices, and then be with them through these 3 years projects to really going in this transition with them. So it is important that they decide what they want to do in this landscape, and then we will be there with different support to make it happen.
Hmm. So they can have like real support, and they can talk to someone if they need to, and just
Yeah, and
to
then
help them.
yes, and they will receive training. We
Yeah.
we run a lot of training for them to explain what is, I don't know, the basis, cover crop, or what is a really regenerative agriculture, soil, health, everything that they really need. We provide training, but also daily, in the daily basis, we have agronomists that they are going to be with them to really help them with this transition.
Yeah, because it's like really a new way to do their job. So they need to relearn everything they learned before to do it like
Exactly.
a bit differently.
And there will be challenges. They need to be ready for these challenges and
Yeah,
to really redo it to what they thought that they will be good, and then it's not as expected, and be rethinking what I can do and be ready for this. For I mean, if they are used to do another kind of agriculture, they need to be ready for these new practices and the risk that they will come. But at the end of the day, there will be benefits. Maybe you don't see the benefit the year one, but ultimately there will be a lot of benefits for everyone.
of course. Of course, it's really like a long-term vision that they need to
Exactly.
have. Of course. And you were saying that a bit earlier, but with EIT Food, you're really like trying to create a community and collaboration between farmers, but also like food companies, researchers, policymakers. Can you tell us a bit more about this? Because I feel like it's really interesting that people know that it's not only like farmers working on their side, not talking to everyone else, and that it's really important that everyone in the society is involved in this project.
Indeed, this is our nature, or this our key elements for EIT Food: collaboration and community. So we collaborate with not only with farmers but also with off-takers, suppliers, and every actors in locally in the region, but also with governments. So all together to run this project. So for us, a project is we call it landscape, and normally last like 3 years because of the to really the season of the crops, and to really be able to demonstrate, to show the impact of regenerative agriculture, you need to have at least 3 years or 5 years programs. um, and then we put together farmers that they want to be involved in this landscape, but also the off-takers that they want to support the farmers with, for example, with premium payments, incentivize, and all kind of support. But also governments that they want to also provide financial support. We provide also EIT Food financial support, and but not just financial support. We provide agronomists in the field. We provide trainings in the field, and also we provide a community where farmers can be part of, and they can really learn and share each other with other peers.
Hmm. Yeah, so that's really important. Like they really need all of these like ecosystem.
Exactly. This is, I think, it's part of the success. So not to leave the farmer alone there and ask it to change the practices, is just to be in the journey with them.
Yeah, and in the end, it's like for all of us because regenerative agriculture has so many good impacts on the soil, biodiversity, climate, so that we all need to be involved if we can in this kind of project.
Well, this is the only way to do it. So it's the only way that we need to follow for the to really fight against the climate change, and really to have our fields or our land very
Mm,
productive, is to change our practices.
yeah. And so you were saying that EIT Food is working like across Europe. Of course, in Europe, we have like so many different landscape. We have a really, really like high diversity. So how do you design programs that are scalable across countries, climate, but also like cropping system, while still respecting local realities? Because I guess you need to work on local realities as well, but also trying to develop like system for many countries.
Yes, indeed. So, yes, our province is part of a one big portfolio that we call it innovation regenerative portfolio. That is really,
Yeah.
the scope is Europe, and the idea here is to really meet with the needs and the challenges the agriculture has locally, so in different regions. So then how we work, we select what we call for corporates, off-takers, suppliers that they want to be on board on these programs. And then we design the project with them in terms with this. We select the crops. They are really the priority crops in the region. And when we design the project with the activities that we are going to be focused on. Then the idea is obviously each of the programs will be really focused in the region, but with a model that will be able to scale to another region. So the idea is to really share the learners from one region to another. And although you need to be really adaptable and really focus in that region because there will be some specific elements for the region, it will be the possibility to scale this program in other regions and also to really make it bigger in the long term. So we started with one region short term, 3 years, with a model that will be scaled up in a long term.
Okay, yeah, I see. So, and then, like, because we talk about regenerative agriculture and we say that it's going to be a long-term transformation. Of course, it's not something that's going to happen in like few months. So when I was trying to work on this episode, I was like, okay, so what could be realistic? Like, if I'm asking you to maybe give us your perspective, your vision for like European food system in like 10 years, what would success look like from your perspective as someone involved in the EIT Food program?
Well, let me tell you something. I would like to give my perspective, not just as a head of regenerative agriculture at EIT Food, but also as a farmer. So I'm helping on my family farm in Galicia, northwest of Spain. So for me, regenerative agriculture is part of our model, and it has been part of our model since I was a child. But to really have like thinking about in 10 years time, so success would mean for me really to have these healthy soils, productive farmers, and also these strong communities that are working together. But my dream will be like we won't even call regenerative farming anymore, because that will be the normal way we farm everywhere. So we stop calling regenerative farm is the only way to really produce food around the world.
Yeah, I agree. So like we don't have
We
the
don't need
other
a
form.
name. It's the only way.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's the only way. The
exactly.
only way we learn, the only way
Yes.
we can farm. Yeah, for sure. And do you have like one project maybe that you've been working on for the past few years that you really love? Maybe like your favorite one, or like a farm that really inspires you, or
I
even
mean,
someone actually.
yeah, no, I love our first landscape, which is Navarra 316, and it's in the north of Spain in Navarra. And we are supporting 80 farmers to the transition of the regenerative agriculture. And we are working with Danone Ecosystem, Alpro, Cargill, and Intermalta. These are the corporates, the off-takers that they are working with us together and to support this transition of these farmers in Navarra. This is let's say, our baby, and we are really proud of the results and the impact. And in fact, just to share you more details, so we are going to be running an open day in in February, on the 17th of February in Navarra. So more details on our website will be provide very soon, but we are invited to everyone that they want to know more about this project and the impact that we are making with this project in Navarra in February.
Oh, yeah, great. So I will link the website and all of the info
Yeah,
in the podcast description so
thank
everyone can have a look
exactly.
and
Yeah,
join if they want to.
exactly.
Yeah, great. That's really inspiring. And I hope that this episode can just like raise awareness and try to maybe convince people that this is the only way we need to cultivate and to work for our like sustainability, because we are facing major changing climate change and we need to fight against this.
Thank you, indeed. So we need to, if I may say something else, we really need to change our mind, and we really need to really produce in a way that the benefits will feed back to the system in some way. So it's the only way that we have to produce food.
It's not only taking from the system.
Exactly. It's to make it
giving back.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Mercedes, for your time. It was so interesting to talk to you about all of this. I will link all of the EIT Food website and all of the stuff, because there are many, many resources that we can watch or read or whatever. You have plenty of resources, and it was really helpful for me to dig in on this subject. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna interest the audience. So thank you very much. And I hope we'll have some time to record a new episode in 10 years to see all of the progress that
it will be amazing.
Made.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Merci d'avoir écouté cet épisode jusqu'au bout. Si vous êtes encore là, j'imagine qu'il vous a plu. N'oubliez pas de vous abonner à Basilic sur votre application de podcast favorite pour ne louper aucun épisode. Vous pouvez également me suivre sur Instagram et LinkedIn @BasilicPodcast pour découvrir les coulisses de tous les épisodes et de toutes les interviews. Et enfin, si l'univers du podcast vous intéresse, alors je vous invite à jeter un œil à basilicpodcast.com. Vous y découvrirez Basilic Studio, la formation que j'ai créée pour vous accompagner à lancer votre propre podcast et surtout le podcast de vos rêves, mais également Basilic Lab, l'agence qui nous permet de créer des podcasts pour des marques audacieuses et des thérapeutes engagés. Je vous donne rendez-vous la semaine prochaine pour un nouvel épisode et d'ici là, prenez grand soin de vous.